So I'm sure you know who this person is. Yep, that's right, that's Sydney Sweeney, the second hottest girl on the show Euphoria. Well, that girl decided to make a movie called Anyone But You, and it sucks. In all reality, she's a C-list actor, but she's exploded in popularity due to one simple fact. She's pretty hot.
Oh my gosh, I am such a klutz. I am so sorry.
It's okay. Anything you do is okay.
And a superpower that girls have when they're hot is that guys don't like to tell them that their ideas suck. So she's been riding high from her Instagram and Euphoria fame, and she starts thinking to herself, hey, I'm pretty smart, aren't I? I might as well write a movie and put it all together myself.
I had the script. I met Glenn at MTV. It's like, maybe we should talk.
So she watched The Notebook and La La Land while drinking a few glasses of wine, and she decided to give her rendition of a modern romantic comedy.
What's that?
That's good. Just like, but you don't have to hover. Just kind of, oh man, the woods.
I'm sorry.
Okay, just take it out.
The architecture of the whole movie is like based on Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, so it's really classic and very elegant.
Stop! Fuck! Are there any more on me? Do we have any more on me? Jack! Spiders hunt bears! They hunt bears!
This movie is not going to solve any world problems, but it is going to show you that people can have a good time and have a and live happily and funnily and enjoy themselves. And
I love when directors wish they made a better movie so they have to cope on an interview. I know it's a stupid movie, just watch it anyways, please. I won't know for sure until I get the test results back, but I'm pretty sure watching this movie gave me AIDS. But then again, an AIDS death is probably better than continuing this series on YouTube. This has been very taxing. This movie actually made me angry watching it. My viewing experience was a little bit unique in the sense that I saw it with a group of girls and my mind was open. I was ready to be blown away because the way that these girls were talking about this movie, you would think it was the new Godfather, and I got left with this. The movie starts off with Sydney Sweeney meeting the love interest. She goes to a coffee shop asking to use the bathroom, and the barista, for whatever reason, is being a and won't let her go. And then the love interest, which is basically just a discount version of Ryan Gosling, decides to help her out and pretend that they're married. They exchange maybe 2 words together, and then she goes into the bathroom and calls her friend and tells her all about the new guy she just met and how amazing he is.
Hallie, I just met this guy.
Like, yeah, he helped you out, but you have no clue if he's interested in you or not. I mean, I guess when you look like Sydney Sweeney, it's a fair assumption that any guy that talks to you is willing to take you out. But then here comes the comedy. You know, there's a hurtful stereotype that women can't be funny. Everyone says it. It's not true. Women can most certainly be funny. Just not this woman. So she spills something on herself. That's relatable enough. She wants to impress the guy, so she can't have her pants all wet, so I get it. So she tries to dry her pants. She jumps up on the sink. She does all sorts of stuff, and then audibly yells out, "Hot?" For no reason. There's no way the hand dryer is that hot where you need to yell that out. So fake Ryan Gosling hears it. He goes up and asks if she's okay. And instead of just being like, yeah, she just starts yelling and rambling sentences so that everyone in the audience is like, oh, what are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself. It's just frustrating more than funny, and it's out of character. That's something that Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, Will Ferrell, those guys would do that, not you. You're Sydney fucking Sweeney.
I just started this new internship, and I didn't want to ask anyone where the bathroom was because I didn't want them to think I was weak and not a problem solver.
And then she comes out of the bathroom with the wet spot magically gone. If you've ever been in that situation, you know you can't just magically dry off jeans in the matter of minutes, but I'll give it a pass. Then he finally gets the balls to ask her out, and she says yes.
I'm Ben.
I'm B.
Well, like right now? You're gonna go out right now? Don't you people have anything to do? It's the middle of the day on a work day. Most people at that coffee shop are there to get coffee before work or on a lunch break. You'll notice in this movie, nobody works, nobody does anything, but everybody's filthy rich. They live an insane lifestyle, yachts, large mansions, luxury apartments, but none of them actually work. They don't do anything. How are you guys maintaining? How are you doing life? They spontaneously met at the coffee shop, and then now they're just both prepared to spend the entire day together. So that's what they do. They go back to his property that's probably worth millions of dollars in real life, and it's revealed that she's actually in a relationship, which I'm sorry, but that makes you a This movie's clearly written in the woman's perspective. She's cheating on her boyfriend, but yet they write her out to be the hero that's just following her heart. She's supposed to be the person we're identifying with, but when she cheats on her boyfriend with somebody else because she finds him attractive, we're supposed to say, yep, that's me. I could see me doing that. Like, fuck out of here. That's toxic, horrible behavior. Which, by the way, I cannot take lawyer seriously on Sydney Sweeney. She's not selling any of this. She's too focused on looking attractive in every shot, smiling at the camera and biting her lip while she doesn't actually put on a performance. Her lines are delivered so half-assed. It's like she's making a TikTok in every scene.
Hallie, stop. Not me anymore. I'm free now. Why do you have a giant wrench?
My mom gave me that. She said, no matter how broken something is, there's always a way to fix it.
Your mom's a fucking idiot. Son, in life, there's always a way to fix things. So here, keep this wrench. What the f can you fix with a wrench? That is such an uber-specific tool. You could barely fix anything with a wrench. I never tell anybody about my mom, but I'll share this with you.
Why you got the giant wrench? You told her about your mom, bro? You don't tell nobody about your mom.
So they share a bunch of poorly written dialogue and she ends up staying the night. But then when it cuts to the morning, they both have all of their clothes on. Their belts are still attached. She has her rings on. Her hair looks exactly how it was the night before. Not a single wrinkle in the shirt. They couldn't have made it look like they actually fell asleep. Maybe like a t-shirt for her would have implied that he got her a t-shirt from his room or something. They really had to just have him wake up in exactly what they were wearing. If you had him change, it would have implied that maybe something happened off screen. Otherwise, it just looks like they directly fell asleep after what we watched. So then she just randomly leaves as soon as she wakes up, and that's the central conflict. So now he thinks that she doesn't like him since she left in the morning. As a result, he goes on a rant on how horrible he thinks she is, but it just so happens she came back.
What the fuck am I doing?
Just in time to overhear that.
I couldn't get her out of here fast enough. This girl's a disaster. She's a nothing.
So now they both think that they don't like each other. I actually can respect a good rom-com. I think The Notebook, objectively, good movie. La La Land, good movie. This one, awful, trash. And this is just a setup. It actually gets bad now. But I will say the way that they showed it 6 months later, that's pretty cool. It's a sign that's actually in the club. I can see that being in like a trendy club. I like that. That's the one compliment I'll give the movie. But what do you know? They know some mutual people, so they end up running into each other at the club, and then they argue as if they've been in a relationship for years. She continuously calls him a boy and insults his ego as if she knows anything about him, even though she was the one that cheated on her boyfriend.
Send you an invite. You still live at 28 Boy Lane? You'll always be my rock bottom.
You'll always be my rock bottom. You spent like a few hours together. You don't know this person. As a matter of fact, that comment about being a mess is probably justified, being that you're going behind your boyfriend's back and going to some other guy's house that you just met that day and spending the night. And I have a huge pet peeve for lazy title cards and text sequences, and this is such a bad offense. It looks like a preset cap cut transition, and it just randomly comes in the middle of their conversation. So then it turns out it's such a small world that they're both invited to the same wedding and they have to fly out to Australia to attend it. Now, there's only a total of 12 people that even got invited to this wedding. It's a very luxurious and private, family-focused wedding event, but somehow these two people didn't know each other prior to this. I can see if it was like a 500-person wedding, but this is a very tight-knit circle, it seems. It seems like they're very close with the people that invited them, but they've never heard of each other. They've never crossed each other's paths.
No, thank you. I'm all good on creatine and small dick insecurity.
Nothing small about me.
To further illustrate the comedic genius of Sydney Sweeney, she walks by him on the plane at night and sees that he has a cookie, and she wants that cookie, so she's gonna go take that cookie. And then this happens. Okay, enough. Fuck's sake. Just look at this house too. Look at this property. These people are multi-millionaires. What do they do for work? We like The Notebook because it's relatable. Who is this movie made for? Is it made for Sydney Sweeney and her rich friends? They all act as if this is something completely normal. Like, yep, this is just another Tuesday. I'm gonna go on the super yacht and have this caviar party. And it makes her problem seem so stupid. She keeps bringing up how hard her life has been and how much of a mess she's been lately. She just doesn't have it together and everything's awful. But yet she seems to be a multi-millionaire that's going to law school just for fun. This movie shoves rich things down your throat like it's normal. I'll ask again, who is this movie made for? Alright, I take that back. This movie's made for me.
Hallie, stop.
I've seen her give good performances, so I don't want to trash her as an actress.
You're fucking Nate? Are you kidding me?
No, I don't even know why she would say that.
You're lying.
I don't even know why you're believing her. She's a drug addict.
Maybe it's bad direction or a bad script.
What are you talking about? Not me anymore. I'm free now. If I never ask you for anything ever again, can you please just lay off of me this weekend? I'm very happy, but not when you guys do this.
Wait, so she was supposed to be genuinely upset during that conversation?
I'm very happy, but not when you guys do this.
Yeah, I am not buying that. Just be emotional. You don't have to try to look pretty in every scene. The way they spice this up is both of their exes are at this wedding. Ben kind of wants to get back together with his ex, but not really. And Sydney Sweeney's just a horrible human being. Her poor ex-boyfriend doesn't even know he got cheated on, let alone that the guy she cheated with is at the same wedding.
Ew.
I had no idea you were coming.
So your parents didn't tell you. Okay.
He seems like a decent guy. He didn't want to be intrusive, but her parents told him to come. I don't see this as the type of asshole character that I'm supposed to root against. They come up with this master plan. They're going to pretend to be in a relationship together so that way her ex-boyfriend leaves her alone and so that Ben can make his ex-girlfriend jealous. So in order to prove this to people, they have to do a few things like this.
Wow.
This is just so romantic.
Is that the best take you could have gotten? You can't deliver that line a little bit better?
Permission to put my left hand on your right buttock.
Too hard. Keep trying.
I don't know how common that is in other countries, but it's definitely not common where I'm from to have your woman put her hand on your bare ass.
Okay, just mind the gap.
How's that?
That's good. Just like, but you don't have to hover. Just kind of, oh man, the woods.
I'm sorry.
Okay, just take it out. You want me to stick my finger in my own ass?
How loose is your asshole to where she can accidentally slip it in? Clearly not your first time there, pal. Fingers up each other's assholes in public. Is that the new way of holding hands?
What the f***? What the f***? Ah, what the f***? What the f***? What the f***? You have it on me!
So it's really classic and very elegant.
These comedy scenes take up a large portion of the movie.
Oh God.
Why didn't you just use a blanket right there? The only other jokes that they have are meta jokes that are so off target.
Place is basically America. They speak English, they eat regular food, they have a complicated relationship with their past.
Is that a slavery joke?
Right here. This is a white people's game. Y'all spend so much time trying to trick each other. Y'all got so much time on your hands. Just say the word.
Well, they end up going on a super yacht. I wish I could wander around all day and be a millionaire. Before they head out, they have to do their rich people morning routines, which include going out to the beach shirtless and shadow boxing, diving in the pool and talking about diving techniques, playing huge actual 3D chess, where she meets up with her ex-boyfriend and leads him on for no reason. She starts flirting with him and telling him that she thinks about the times that they had together, knowing full well what her intentions are. They do their morning routine so they can get ready to go on this big yacht. And Sydney Sweeney mentions a few times how horrible her life is, how stressed out and how much of a mess things are, which seems kind of insulting because her problems are not problems. She's a millionaire and she's trying to decide whether she wants to stay in law school or not. that. Those are good problems to have. I'm not gonna feel for you on that one. Oh my God, I cheated on my boyfriend and he's here at this party right now with the guy that I cheated with. And I don't even know if I like want to stay in law school or not. Like maybe I don't. Oh my God, life is so hard. I don't know how people do it. But anyways, they go on this yacht and they still have to prove to everybody that they're in a relationship, but it ends up turning a little bit sideways and she falls off the boat. Ben jumps in after her and they have a heart-to-heart conversation, realizing that they actually do have feelings for each other after all. They're not pretending anymore. He mentions his mom, I think. I don't know, nothing important, but she mentions wanting to leave law school and tries to convince him how messed up her life is. And then a helicopter picks them up from the water as they play some pop song and then they go back. At this point, the girls I was with were blushing and oohing and awing at this scene, saying it was so romantic. If someone did that for me, I would die. Oh my God, it's so cute. Maybe it's just women that like this stuff. I don't know, but I'd like to think that women have higher standards for movies. So now they're madly in love. Ben recaps the whole situation with his friend, and he mentions the fact that she's leaving law school. His friend later accidentally brings this up around her parents, and then her parents get really mad at her.
You quit school?
You're just gonna pour gasoline on everything you've worked for? I can't believe you. You told him I quit school?
So now this is that cliche point in a rom-com where they fall off and then the guy has to go win her back. Even though she never disclosed that as something he couldn't repeat, she never said it was a personal piece of information that he can't tell anybody, and his intentions were clearly not to rat her out, and they were gonna know eventually. But now it's actually time for the wedding and she throws a fit and wants to leave. So this leads up to one of the most overdramatic scenes I've ever seen in one of these movies, and it's so pointless, it makes me mad.
Do you know where she went?
She said she wanted to walk around, do some people watching.
I think it was more of a euphemism for crying alone.
No, it's not. I think I know where she might be.
Then he runs off the cliff, jumps in the water with the intention for the helicopter thing to pick him up so he can get there as fast as possible and meet her at the location that he believes her to be at. And he didn't even check the water. There could have been a huge rock. He could have just committed suicide. Imagine how awkward that would have been. I think I have a plan. Runs off the cliff and himself. Yeah, I don't really know what happened. I think he was just upset over the girl or something. He didn't really elaborate. And if he jumped from this cliff, how is he all the way out there? This guy just jumped the length of a football field. But aside from all of that, there are so many problems with this scene. Number one, why didn't you just call her? You have her cell phone number. You can just reach out to her to see where she's at. Number two, if you know where she's at, why didn't you just Uber there? It's not like you were on a time crunch. There was no time limit. She's not leaving. She's staying in town. It's her sister's wedding. She's not going anywhere. If anything, jumping in the water was a risk that you wouldn't be able to get there at all, because what if the helicopter didn't come so fast? I would not rely on the helicopter coming quickly to pick you up. What if it's a busy day? What if they didn't get the call? There are way too many factors. You could have called a cab and met her where she's at. And if she didn't get together with you because you didn't make some grand entrance with a helicopter, then she's not the one anyways. It doesn't seem like she is. She's melodramatic. She has no perspective on life. She's a cheater. She's a bad person. She's narcissistic. The only thing she's got going for her is she looks like Sydney Sweeney. And why would you think that the helicopter driver would just bring you wherever you want to go? I would assume that they would bring you back to some sort of station for you to get a ride from there. They can't just land in any area. You know, and fuck you if you say I'm overanalyzing this, because this is so blaring. It's right there. It's right in front of us. Write a better script. It turns out that people watching wasn't a euphemism for anything. She's actually just being a creep and watching people on the street. And what's it like, National Get Married Day? Everyone's getting married right in front of her.
I couldn't face the idea of losing someone else that I really loved.
So you gonna kiss me now?
No.
You guys have known each other for a total of 2 days. You've spent 2 days of time together. What the f are you talking about? That's a divorce waiting to happen. Yeah, so overall, f this movie. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Maybe bring your girlfriend to it, but I wouldn't even say that, because you're gonna go and you're gonna argue with her, and she's gonna see all things through the side of the girl in this movie, even though she's a up, twisted person. You're gonna get an argument with your girlfriend. If you're anything like me, you'll get an argument with her. So now I just want to give a shout out to Keo. Keo just joined as a member. You can join that group for just $2. I'll put your name at the end of every single one of my videos for as long as you're a member, and you get special privileges, special access. There's a bunch of videos I I have members only. When it comes to my live streams, you've got a ton of privileges, so definitely join my live streams. Definitely join as a member. I appreciate every single person that does. Everyone that joins makes it a little bit easier for me to do this full time, so I definitely want to give recognition where it's due. Appreciate you guys.